Welcome to the raw and uncensored Ambitchious podcast. During our time here together, I will be instilling all of the strength, power, and determination you will need to use the very stones thrown at you to build your ultimate empire. We will redefine the word bitch from the derogatory to the acronym being in total control of herself. So let's adjust our crowns and prepare to live life ambitiously.
Oh, yeah, here I am, the original HBIC, Katie motherfucking boy. Okay, so this is the second episode of Why You Are Not Successful. I hope that you guys really gained a lot of insight from the first podcast about why you're not successful, and you actually listened to this HBIC, and you held the mirror up to your mug and said, damn, I'm my own worst enemy. I gotta fix this shit real quick. Okay. We're gonna keep going. We're not even gonna skip a beat. We're not gonna fiddle faddle. We're not gonna twiddle our twats. We're just gonna go right into the next smorgasbord of all of the different ideas that I compiled for all of you HBICs out there. Okay, you ready? The next reason why you're not successful is you focus too much on the end goal. The most important thing is the journey. The most important thing is all the little steps that you take on the way to becoming the HBIC of your most ambitious life, right? So in business, people always focus on the money. In health, they always focus on the weight loss. In like the social media world or the success world, they're always focused on accolades, right? People kissing your ass, telling you that you're great, we love you, you're the best, blah, 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 blah. Who gives a shit about that? The most important things that we have to focus on is all of the little tiny steps and wins that it takes to get to where you desire to go. Because that's like the sweetest part. Because I'm telling you right now, if you think, oh, if I lose 60 pounds, I'll finally be happy. Or if I make 6 figures on that launch, I'll be happy. Or if I find the, whatever, the man of my dreams, and I'll be happy. Or if everybody finally loves me and they tell me I'm good enough, smart enough, whatever enough, then I'll feel good. I'm telling you right now, you are in for a fucking rude awakening. And it is going to suck fucking donkey balls. Like, you have no idea. Like how much it's going to suck if you focus on the end game and you don't focus on all of the journey and the little steps that it took there. Celebrate those wins. Celebrate. Like when you release 5 pounds because you're doing fasting or you're doing a program with me, maybe celebrate the little wins, right? Don't celebrate it with eating a bunch of Snickers, but celebrate the little, great, go get a massage, get some new, sneakers, get some new Lululemons, whatever. Don't focus on, well, I'm not going to celebrate until I'm this weight or this body fat or my body. No. That's just, you're setting yourself up for ultimate disappointment and failure. Okay. The next thing, the reason why you're not successful is your passion is always wavering. Now, I'm not saying that I wake up every day and my nipples are hard and I'm like, oh my God, I just can't wait to show up and serve all day. No, there's days where I'm like, I'm fucking tired. I have my period. I'm exhausted. I want to punch a baby. But my passion really never wavers. Like, I know the difference between like, hey, I have PMS right now and I want to like crack someone's skull open. I need to go maybe take a nap, or I need to go just like watch Netflix for an hour, or maybe I need to like go for a walk and like clear my head. But my passion for what I'm doing every day of my life is always there. And so many people, if they don't, this goes back to instant gratification, if they don't get to where they want to go, like in 0 to 60, they just like all the passion just drains out of them and they just don't feel good enough. And yeah, you're going to have hard days. You're going to fall on your face. You're going to fucking fail. You're going to cry yourself to sleep. Like, you're going to have hard motherfucking days. Believe me. I've had plenty. But if your passion is always there and you have definiteness of purpose and like every day when you wake up out of bed, like, this is why I'm here. This is why I'm walking this earth. This is my purpose. This is why God put me here. Then your passion's never going to waver. You're going to have off days. You're going to have tired days. You're going to have sad days. You're going to have like anxious and depressed days, but your passion is always going to be there. The next reason why you're not successful is you're a fucking negative thinker. I cannot tell you how much shit I hear out of people's mouths that is so negative. Ask any of my girls that I coach, that I mentor, when they start talking that negative talk, and obviously the talk was first a thought, right? The thought has to happen in the head first, and then from the thought comes the words, right? And that's how I hear it. And I'm like, oh, no, 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 not today, Satan. We are not talking like that. We are not fucking talking like that. And because they're talking like that, they're thinking like that. So you have to choose your thoughts carefully. You have to guard your mind. You know, Tony Robbins was talking one time about his mentor, Jim Rohn. And Jim Rohn always would use this coffee story, this coffee analogy, if you will. And he would say, like, you have to guard your mind like you guard your coffee. And Tony Robbins is like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, think about it. If I put a little bit of sugar in your coffee, you might like it. And Tony's like, yeah, I like sugar in my coffee. And he's like, but if I put like 3 scoops in there, you might not like it because it might be too sweet. And Tony's like, that's true. He goes, but what if I put arsenic in your coffee? It might look just like sugar. And Tony's like, shit, it could kill you, right? And the same way that you guard your coffee, you have to guard your mind. So the way I guard my mind, just like I guard my coffee, is you are never going to see Katie motherfucking Boyd hanging out with a negative thinker. If the people around me, they don't speak like that. They don't think like that. The only people that I hang out with are expanders. They show me like, hey, you might have this much money in the bank. You might have have made this many 7 figures, but guess what? I made $100 million last year. And I came from nothing. So if I can do it, you can do it, right? It's inspirational. They talk about money. They talk about next level. They talk about scaling up. They talk about love and hope and joy and happiness. You're never going to hear them be like, oh, well, it is what it is. And yeah, things are good now, but like at any time something bad could happen. And oh, I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's like, what? If I would, oh my God. You would never see me again go around that person. Now, every so often you're around people because you might be at a party or some kind of gathering and you don't really know the other people. So you're trying to like get to know new people. You're trying to network. You're trying to make new friends. As soon as someone speaks like that, I'm like, oh yeah, I have to go take a poop. Like I'll just leave. I don't give a fuck. Like I just know this person is going to put arsenic in my coffee. They're not putting sugar. They're not putting stevia. They're not putting a little bit of collagen creamer. They're not putting a little half and half, organic half and half. They're putting motherfucking arsenic in my coffee. So negative thinking, you got to quit the shit. So much of what I do in my coaching is deprogramming the faulty computer system that's been programmed from childhood in your mind and then reprogramming that computer system so you don't think negatively and you don't speak negatively and you don't do negative shit. The next reason why you're not successful is you have no why. You don't even know why the fuck you're doing what you're doing every day. Like so many people that I know, they're just like, well, I really like this person and she's super successful and this is what she does. And like, it looks super fun. It looks super glamorous. Everybody loves her. She makes a lot of money. She gets a lot of accolades. I want that too. But again, her blueprint of her life contract is very different from your blueprint of your life contract. Now, can you look at other successful people and say, wow, I really love their style. I love how they show up. I love that they have this incredible why. I love how they have this amazing mission statement. Right? Yes, you could do that. But if you're trying to do every little thing like this other person's doing, you're going to be up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. Like I used to do this years ago. I would like watch these people on social media and I'd be like, oh, wouldn't it be so amazing if I could get up and speak in front of all these people and do this and do that. I talk about this all the time with some of the retreats that I used to do at different retreat centers. It looks so glamorous when you are the person that's at the retreat, taking the retreat, but the way that you have to work and the sales that you have to make and the way that you have to show up and how exhausting that is, like it was cute for like a couple of years and it's not fun anymore. That's why when I do events, it's at my studio. People come to me. I'm not schlepping all over Hell's Half Acre. Like this is how I desire to live my life. I love freedom. I love joy. I love all these things. And that going to these retreat centers and schlepping all over the country and sharing my money with these centers is not really ambitious for me. That doesn't mean that somebody else doesn't love it. I have friends that are in this industry. They love doing retreats. Oh my God, they live for it. It makes their punanis wet. Not me. Even when I was doing it, I was like, oh my God, like I love meeting the new people and serving and giving value and showing up and educating people. I loved that part, but it was a lot of fucking work. And I come from the school of like, you don't have to work hard to make money. You just have to work really smart. You have to show up, you have to entertain, you have to educate, and you have to give value to people, and you'll always be rich. So a lot of the reason why you're not successful is you don't even know your why. Like what is your personal mission statement? You know, we do a lot of this in Ambitchious Academy. We do a lot of this in the way I coach. Like, why do you want to do this? Why? What is your why? What is your mission statement? What are you going to get out of it? How are you going to change the world? The next one is, and this is going to parlay, you're trying to copy someone else's blueprint. You really are trying to copy someone else's blueprint. I remember, I don't know if you know who Rachel Hollis is, but she wrote a book called Girl Wash Your Face. And I remember when she came out, and I remember seeing like she was on the bestsellers list for all these months, and she made so much money selling her book and right? And I was just like, oh my God, I want to be like Rachel Hollis. Well, guess what? It was like her 17th book that she wrote. That was the first one that actually did anything. Her marriage was falling apart. She was dealing with alcoholism. She was going through like a crazy adoption battle. Like this girl didn't have a perfect life. Like it looked like that from Instagram. It looked like that from social media. It looked like that from all of her events that she was doing. And she was on Oprah and she was doing all this stuff. And I was like, oh my God, I have to be just like Rachel Hollis. Well, guess what? Rachel Hollis is a Christian. She doesn't swear. She definitely doesn't say twiddle your twat like I do. And I was trying to like mold myself into being more like Rachel Hollis. And I was like, I have to be Katie motherfucking Boyd. Like that is who I am. And if you're trying to be someone that you're not, you're going to attract the wrong people. Every time I've ever had a client who's fucked me over, who doesn't want to pay their bill, who I have to bring to small claims court, like whatever, okay? Because this is still a business. This is still my fucking business. I'm not showing up here for my great rack. Okay, yes, I love what I do, but there has to be an energy exchange. Like, I'm going to give you this service and you're going to pay me. And that's the way that the world works. That's a universal fucking law. Okay? And every time I've ever tried to be someone I was not, I always get fucked in the ass and no lube. Every fucking time. Because I'm trying to copy someone else's blueprint. I don't do that anymore. I'm like, if you don't like me, don't listen to my podcast. If you don't like what Ambitchious is all about, don't do Ambitchious Academy. Don't come to the events. Don't do the protocols. Don't do anything. Don't follow me on social media. Like, I only desire going forward to attract my tribe, to attract the bitchterhood, to attract like-minded, loving, kind individuals who respect me and respect my business. That's it. So every time you're trying to copy someone else's blueprint, you're going to get yourself in a big old bucket of hot ass water on the stove. You know what I'm saying? The next one, the reason why you're not successful is you give up too damn easy. Let me tell you something. If I gave up every time I got scared, every time I got sad, every time I got overwhelmed, every time I got exhausted, every time I got weary, every time I got tired, every time I got told no, okay? Every time that I felt pain, I would be living in a motherfucking van down by the river. But I'm a sick bitch. That is what the Ambitchious podcast is, what the Ambitchious movement is, what the Ambitchious book is, what everything Ambitchious is all about. It's about being afraid, but doing it anyway. It's about, knowing that you have to be tough and resilient to be ambitious. You can't worry about what everyone's saying about you and thinking about you because they're fucking losers if they're talking about you in the first place anyways, right? So giving up too easily is definitely a reason why people aren't successful. This could be you. Like I said, on last week's podcast, we were going into Ambitchious 28. We were doing a whole month of, extended fasting and inner child healing and like all this crazy shit. It's not easy. I made it so it wasn't easy. I created the program to push people, to make them crack, to make them freak out, to expose their pussy ass, bitch ass ways, to expose how they give up too easy. And guess what? The ones that don't give up, they will soar. They will go to the next level. They will be so proud of themselves by the end of this program, right? You do Ambitchious Academy for 12 weeks. I'm going to fucking kick your motherfucking ass. You're going to hate me, but you're going to love me at the end when you graduate and you really step into your most ambitious life. So if you're giving up too easy, I hate to say it, but that's probably why you're a fucking loser. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not motherfucking Willy Wonka, okay? The next one is you don't have a coach or someone to expand you. You know, I've been a coach for over 20 years. I have coaches. I think everybody in the world should have a coach. Now, I'm not talking about a therapist. I'm not talking about a psychiatrist. I'm talking about a coach. A coach who is an expander, who's already come from similar background as you and who has achieved greatness and can give you like the cliff notes to get yourself to where you desire to be. Anyone who can show you that, look it, you can do this. I've already done this and this is how I've done it. So I think that if you're having a hard time going to the next level, if you're not succeeding, the number one thing is to get a coach, to hire a mentor, to get a transformational coach, to be part of something bigger than yourself. It may be Ambitchious Academy. It may be mentorship. It may be coming to certain events or doing some live events. It might not even be with me. It might be with a different coach. I really don't give a fuck if you work with me or not, but find someone that really expands you, that shows you like, hey, I already did this. You can do it too. And there's so many coaches right now that are just like, they went to coaching school, they're life coaches or whatever, and their lives are fucking shambles. Their lives are literally shambles. How the fuck is someone going to coach you that's literally in shambles their lives? No, you want an expander. You want someone to coach you that shows you like, hey, if you just do these things and you listen to every fucking thing I say and you don't give up and you don't like make excuses, you're going to live like this within 6 months to a year. That's it. So probably one of the reasons why you're not where you desire to be is because you don't have a coach, or if you haven't signed up for some kind of a program or protocol or whatever that's going to take you and expand you to that next level. The next reason why you aren't successful is you're surrounded by like-minded people. So maybe your mindset is low. Maybe it's low vibrational. Maybe it's very unworthy. Maybe it's very not enoughness. And remember, you are the sum total of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So think about that. Look around at your friends, your colleagues, your family members that you spend the most time with. Are they lifting you up and expanding you? Are they motivating you? Are they trying to get you to follow your dreams, hopes, and desires and aspirations and take you to the next level? Or are they a bunch of mopey fucking slugs in a puddle cycling at negative vibrational frequency? I don't know. I don't know what your life looks like. But my life is full of coaches and mentors and expanders and multimillionaires and people who talk about wealth and health and happiness and going to the next level, and they're not gossiping and they're not jealous. They're not talking shit. And we all can help each other. So surrounding yourself with like-minded people is so fucking important. So maybe you're not successful because you're around a bunch of fucking dinkleberries. And if you are around a bunch of dinkleberries, like I said, go back to the coaching, go back to the programs. Maybe you need to find a program of like-minded women who are all trying to go to the next level. Maybe you need to find a bunch of friends who are doing better than you so you can be inspired on a daily basis. The next reason why you're not successful is way too much education and not enough execution. So I have so many clients and I have so many people in my life that I know and acquaintances that are like, oh, I listened to 72 podcasts today, and then I listened to YouTube, and then I listened to like motivational speaking, and then I listened to a book on tape. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, what did you learn and what did you do with it? I don't know. I just listened to it. Or they go to become like a life coach, or they go to school for something, right? Whatever that is. And they read and read and read and learn and learn and learn and read and learn and read and learn, and they never execute on it, right? It's like listening to a motivational business speaker, and he's like, you need to reach out to 10 people today and set up appointments. And you're like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And then what do? You go twiddle your twat, watch some Netflix, eat some bonbons, right? Go hang out with your friends, have like, Taco Tuesday and drink like 45 margaritas. And then what? What did you do? Did you execute? Did you listen to the business person? And did you go make the 10 phone calls? Did you go live on your Instagram and give service and value? Did you reach out to, a new employer? Did you, whatever? I don't know what it is. Okay. I don't know. Everybody's life is different. But I'm telling you right now, if you're just listening to shit all the fucking day and you're not taking the things that you learned and putting them into play and executing upon them, you're always going to be a bum. You're always going to be a fucking bum. The next one is, and these are all very much like parlaying into the next, but they're all equally important. You don't have an established network of people. So everyone is like, lately, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's COVID or what, or just like exacerbated people's anxiety, but like people are just being like super isolatory. They're afraid to, go out. They're afraid to meet new people. They're afraid to reach out to, people that are at their level or higher. And then what happens is what? You're just like an island unto yourself and there's no one to collaborate with. If you follow me on Instagram or you're on my app, like I do lives with all these different people who are on my level or higher. And we co-create and we educate and we empower and we speak victory into people and we inspire them and we entertain them and we do all these things. And then the quid pro quo for showing up like that is like people buy your shit. People want to work with you. People look at you like you're the expert in this field. So if you are not successful, you probably don't have a good network of other people who you can collaborate with and go to the next level with. The next one, you don't take radical responsibility for where you are. So many people that I have coached in the past or people I just, come into contact with, they're always like, well, this person made me feel like this. And this is the reason I failed. And this person bamboozled me. And that person fucked me over. And I had a bad childhood. And my father was an alcoholic. And I was raped as a teenager. And I don't trust people. And everyone's out to fucking get you. And. I mean, I could literally keep going for like fucking 30 years just giving excuses of all the fucking shit that I hear that people are putting on other people. And guess what? No one can make you feel any certain way. No one can really hurt you unless you allow it. No one can take from you unless you give. So people can act a fool all motherfucking day with me, but I don't have to play their game. I don't have to give them my fucking energy. Like I pick and choose what I want to give my energy to. And I didn't have the easiest life growing up. I had a lot of fucking abuse in my life. I had terrible abusive relationships. I had so many people steal from me and fuck me over and do all kinds of shit to me. I have had so much failure in my life. I've had so much jealousy, not me being jealous of people, but people being jealous of me, gossiping about me, trying to hurt me, trying to take me down. And guess what? Every fucking time I would just get back up and say, okay, you got to protect yourself better. You got to surround yourself with better people. You got to, wake up earlier. You can't make excuses. So I don't want to fucking hear it. You either take radical responsibility for who you are and where you are and stop pointing the fingers at everybody else because no one can do anything to you unless you fucking allow it. Because being an HBIC, being ambitious is about taking radical responsibility for where you are in your life. Okay, this is the last two, but these are good. The next reason why you're not successful is you put everything before your non-negotiables. So as you guys know, if you've read Ambitchious the book, if you've ever worked with me in any of my programs, you know the first thing that we talk about here in the Ambitchious movement is non-negotiable practices. So non-negotiable practices for me are meditation, saying your ambitious abundance affirmation, setting your intentions for the day, doing your blessing in the morning, right? Breath work, exercise, or some kind of movement of your body, whether it's walking, whether it's yoga, whether it's primal movements, right? Then, after all of those things are done, then I will go and do things for other people, or my clients, or my stepdaughter, or my husband, or my mom and dad, or my sister, or my niece and nephew, or my brother-in-law, or my friends, etc. You have to put yourself and your non-negotiable spiritual practices and your health practices and your wellness practices and your mindset practices before anything else in the morning. And people will say, oh, it's easy for you to say because you don't have little kids. Well, get the fuck up an hour earlier, bitch. Okay? Give me a motherfucking break. I don't even want to hear it. Again, go back to don't take radical responsibility for where you are. Okay? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear your fucking excuses. Put yourself first with your practices in the morning. That means no phone, no email, no nothing until all of those things are done. And last but not least, you put others before yourself, and that is why you're not successful. You know, I had a girl the other day who I fucking love. I literally love her, okay? She's the best. But she said something the other day on one of our mentorship calls, and I fucking went ham on her. Ask her, okay? You can talk to her on the app, on the Ambitchious app. I went ham on her. I was like, shut the fuck up. I don't even want to hear that out of your mouth. But pretty much what she was saying is she was talking about her children. And she's like, you know, I give everything to my kids. I do everything for my kids. I want to make sure they're safe and all these things. I don't care where I sleep. I don't care what happens to me. I don't care what this. I don't care what that. And I was just like, shut the fuck up. Because how can you really love your children if you don't love yourself? How can you really show up for your children and your family if you're not showing up for yourself? And this isn't just her. I mean, this is like a million different times that I've dealt with this kind of shit where people will be like, oh, I had to do A, B, C, D, E, F, and G for like my clients or my family or my husband or my coworkers or da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then I'll say to them, well, did you meditate today? No. Did you exercise today? No. Did you set your intentions for the day? No. Did you cloak yourself before you went out? No. Did you cord cut at the end of the night? No. Did you do your breath work? Nope. Did you bless yourself? No. Okay. And I'm like, okay. So pretty much you're coming from a place of fear. You're coming from a place of ego. And everything that you're doing for these other people that you claim to love is actually coming from a place of fear and selfishness. Because if you weren't selfish, you would say, okay, I have to fill up my own cup first. And when my cup is full, then I can show up as the best mom, the best wife, the best friend, the best daughter, the best colleague, the best, boss, whatever you are. So the last reason why you're not fucking successful is that you're putting others before yourself, period. Okay? So I hope you take the last 2 podcasts. You really think about where you're at. Maybe score yourself. Go through each and every thing that I just said in the last 2 weeks of the podcast and say, okay, where am I at? And if I'm at a low score with all these things, like if I'm listening to this podcast, okay, and I'm like, I do that, I do that. Yep, that's me. You're probably not living your most ambitious life. You're probably not healthy. You're probably not wealthy. You're probably not happy. You probably don't have good relationships. You probably don't have spiritual boundaries. You probably have not much going on in your life. Okay. I hate to say it, but here I am. I am the original HBIC. I'm not going to sugarcoat this shit. I'm not going to lick your butt crack. I'm not going to eat your ass like a cupcake. Like, this is not the podcast for you if you want me to like fiddle your faddle. You know what I'm saying? This is raw, real, unadulterated, swearing, angry shit because everyone else in your motherfucking life is blowing smoke up your ass and telling you, oh, you're so great. You're not fucking great, because if you were great, you wouldn't be even listening to this podcast, because you'd be like, damn, I'm so ambitious. I don't even need to learn from this bitch anymore. Okay? So score yourself, see where you're at. And if you're not where you desire to be, reach out to me. Join Ambitchious Academy. Come to an event. Do a mentorship with me. Come for a healing session at my studio. Do a virtual one-on-one with me. Whatever it takes to go to the next level. Like, I don't want to hear excuses anymore. I just ignore these people. Like, they come to me and they say, well, this and that. And I'm like, I really don't care. I don't care. Go to my website and buy something. I don't give a fuck. Okay? Because if someone is putting something out on a silver platter for you and saying like, hey, if you're not where you desire to be, I can help you because I'm the teacher, I'm the expander, I can help, I can give you the cliff notes, and you're not taking them, then you're actually getting some sick, twisted thing out of being a low vibrational piece of shit. There's going to be something that's making your punani wet. There's going to be some kind of quid pro quo. There's going to be some kind of good thing that you're getting out of being a bum. There has to be. There has to be. So hold the mirror up to yourself. See where you're at in this list. And then if you're like, okay, I need help, reach out to me. Get on over to kbmfc.com. Sign up for our weekly newsletter so you know all the things that are coming down the pretty pink pipeline with Ambitchious and Katie Boyd's Misfit Club. Get a healing session. Join Ambitchious Academy. Come to an event at the studio. You know, if you really want something bad enough, you will make it happen. Okay? Like, I have been in my younger years, not able to afford like coaching, but I was like, I don't give a fuck if I have to sell a kidney or like half of my liver. Like, I am going to do this because this person I know can help me get to this place. Get over to kbmc.com, sign up for the newsletter, join the Ambitchious app on Mighty Networks, reach out to me on Instagram, follow me at Katie Boyd Ambitchious, DM me on the app. Like, let's get this conversation started. If you're not where you desire to be, it's no one's fault except your own. Take radical responsibility and then find the person who's going to expand you, who's going to bring you to the next level, and find the group of people who are going to be the people that you've been looking for all of your life to help take you to that next level, and just fucking do it. No more excuses. Okay, I'm done. I need a Xanax after this. I love you guys, and I will see you next week on the Ambitchious podcast. Stay ambitious.